McGregor, Salto, Buddha.
Thinking back on, well, you guys know, I've been here 5 years. I feel like I've been here through a lot of changes to this program. Well, I'll get to that in a little bit. But so my first experience here was a little bit different. I was in res, and I think we were playing. It was like we made it through training camp, just barely. We had the 2-week thing, and we ran a lot more of those cones than we've had to in the last couple of years. I think Merrick's getting a little nicer. But I remember doing those for it felt like almost every day for hours, but whatever. But yeah, so like my first game that I'll never forget is, I think it was against the Canada Masters, and I was terrified. I was playing libero at the time, and I don't think I slept the night before because I was just so scared. It was the first time playing in front of a paying crowd, you know. It was just a really good experience. I think I got on the court for like one set, and I felt like I had blinders on. I couldn't like see anything. I was like tunnel vision straight ahead, just terrified. And it was over in like 2 seconds, what it felt like. And then just being able to go from that to playing now, where games slowed down, you can see a lot more. It's really kind of amazing how much of a difference a few years make, playing whatever position you want to play. So if any of the first year guys or other guys still get really nervous, it goes away with time, don't worry. So my speech is going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to kind of throw together stuff I've learned while being here. Take it or leave it, and we'll see what happens. I played with a lot of guys in my 5 years, and I think I've tried to learn from everyone, and I'm hopefully, there we go. Hopefully I've taught some guys along the way as well. But the first thing that came to mind for my senior speech is something I learned from Merrick. When I came in, I was pretty set in my ways. You're either doing the right thing or you're doing the wrong thing. There's only like right or black and white. But one thing I've definitely learned from Merrick is that there's a lot of gray. Merrick might only see in gray, I'm not quite sure, but there's definitely, everyone comes to every experience with their own biases and own experiences. So first quote I really like is, there is no reality, only perception. So basically just everyone sees things differently, and you can't jump to assumptions or get too far ahead of yourself without really trying to see what other people are experiencing and what they bring to the situation. The next thing I've learned is surrounding yourself with good people really makes a difference. Now's like the time in university you really grow and learn about yourself and find out what you want to be. And by surrounding yourself with good people, it just makes it that much easier to build good habits and really become a great person. I feel like good breeds good. You hold each other to higher standards, and it's just really important. It kind of brings me to my next thing, where when I first came in here, I was in the recruiting class of 5 guys, and after 2 years, I was the only one left. And then since then, we've had a lot more retention. Guys are staying in, guys are liking it a lot more, because I feel like the biggest thing to change is the team culture. When you get the right guys together, trying to go for the right thing and holding each other accountable, you really make your playing experience a lot better, and I feel like that's how you really bring your team to the next level. You can have all the skills, but if you don't really want it together, you're never going to succeed. I've played on some really bad teams, and I've played on some really good teams, and I think that is the main difference. When teams are willing to do little things, you can do some great things. So another point is that I'll just go to the quote. Is you can't change anyone, people can only change themselves. So no matter what advice or suggestions, you see something, or like you feel like you can really help someone, no one can really, you can't change anyone just by saying something. People have to be ready to be open to change and really give it a shot. Kind of just like giving great advice to someone who just in one ear out the other is never going to really change. So that being said, my advice is always be willing to listen and reevaluate. You don't have to take everything people say and let them mold you, but always be open and flexible. The next kind of topic I was going to touch on is leadership. Some of you guys might know, but I've been the captain of our team for the past 4 years. I was kind of thrown into the role in my second year, and I guess I haven't really looked back. But it's kind of funny to me that I was chosen to be the leader of this team. I've never really been a starter. I've never been a superstar on the court. But still, year after year, guys seem to want me, or maybe Merrick wanted me as the captain. And I think the reason why is everyone can contribute to the team, no matter what skill level or attributes you really bring to the team. There's always something everyone can bring. And that being said, never judge someone as a person of whether they're a starter or not. Really, everyone's a part of this team, and everyone can bring stuff to the table. Next thing about being a leader is everyone is really always watching you and always judging what you do, and you really set the bar. So in order to be a good leader, I think you have to set the bar highest for yourself. Because I think when you set the bar, say, this high, everyone's going to strive to be, right around here. No one's going to be willing to go all the way, but the higher you set the bar, the more people will be encouraged to improve themselves. Also, it's the little things that make a difference. Filling someone's water bottle while they're playing, setting the nets, little things like that, picking up garbage. You never really know when you might influence someone's life. I remember, I think it was last year that BJ came to me and said, man, I really appreciate this one time, in my first year, where there was a little bit of a confrontation or situation, and you just told it like it was and stood up for what was right. And that really stuck with me. And you probably remember the example. I don't remember exactly what it was, but just this obscure situation that seemed like nothing, really meant a lot to BJ. Sorry to pick you up, or point you out, but so that really drove home that the little things make a difference. You never know when people are watching and evaluating. Next thing is you don't always have to be liked. And playing on this team, I kind of fall into the role of enforcer. So no one's gonna like you when you're like, all right, you have 250 burpees, let's go. But you do have to be respected, and to be able to be respected, you have to be able to listen to everyone and hear their opinion. I always try to be open and ask guys how they're doing, what they think is going on, because I feel like the collective mind is always better than the individual mind. So being a leader, you have to be able to listen and take a step back, because you're never going to have all the right answers. So by surrounding yourself with great people, the answers just flow themselves. All right, that's what I got on being a leader. My other favorite quote is, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That kind of ties into everything I was kind of talking about being flexible and being open to change and listening to advice. If you keep missing, every serve out the back, and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, it's never going to change. You have to be willing step out of your comfort zone and change something. The last little bit I got is there is so much more to life than just volleyball. And I don't say that in a way like, oh, don't take it too seriously. I mean like, explore other things too. Don't just let volleyball define like who you are as a person. It can be an enormous part of your life, and it's great, but really explore some other things too, because you don't want to be that one-sided athlete that's all I know and that's all I do, and you get to the end of the road and you're like, all right, now who am I? So really try to experience as much as you can and explore other things, you know. I know Luca's getting into rock climbing and stuff like that, and there's tons of other great stuff out there too. So don't just limit yourself to always pure volleyball. But yeah, everyone says it, and I think everyone knows it's true when they get there, but really enjoy your time and experiences here, because it really does go too fast. Yeah, it's funny to think, I remember last year I'm like, oh man, I'm a fourth here. I always was a little kid, right? So, it all happens too fast, and really enjoy it. But I want to say thank you for everyone I've played with, everyone that's coached me, all the athletic therapists. I spend a lot of time in there. They make life much better. But yeah, I really appreciate the assistant coaches for putting in all this time, and pretty much this is what they get out of it. They get to come with you, which is great. But they really do a lot more than what they're rewarded for, so make sure to appreciate them. Thank you, guys. And I want to say thank you to Mirik, of course, because he really made this all possible. I remember coming down, when I came to Ryerson for the first time, we just drove around the campus, and we're like, all right, let's do it. Because most of you guys know, like, my parents live really far away, so I never really got the official tour, and I kind of got in because under a suggestion, Mirik took me on a limb, and I really appreciate that, taking a chance on me and giving me this opportunity. So thank you for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Thank you guys.